Well, I wanted to ask about something that you have in your branding. You have these rules that are read by a artificial voice construct, and one of the rules is, I think it's rule number 4.
They aren't
identify
rules.
Oh, they're guidelines.
They're suggestions.
Suggestion 4 is the one I'm.
Hello and welcome to the Friday Morning Nameless. Today I would like to present a series of simplified propositions to put into practice. Presumably my perception is that some of us have painstakingly operated on principles of prejudice. This is problematic. Please, proceed and practice these procedural practices to gain a much-needed new perspective through participation. 1.
You like that
Find a
alliteration?
partner to express accountability with. 2. Pray to whatever God will listen. 3.
The 18 P's
Find yourself
of
in the
knowing.
characters of literature, preferably spiritual literature, hence probably all literature.
This
4.
is it.
Identify yourself in the opposition. 5. Offer
Pause.
your inadequacy.
What is happening?
Holy cow, you're like suited up.
Suit up and show up, beesh.
Must have been Tuesday. He was wearing his cornflower blue tie.
Man. Should I go get a jacket on?
Yes, the 4th proposition there.
Mhm.
Of the 80 P's of propositions that I send.
Yes. So identify yourself in the opposition. So my presumption, which is probably wrong, is what that means is see yourself in your adversaries or your enemies to the best extent you're able to see yourself in them, or see them in you.
Mhm.
Is that accurate?
That is correct, sir. That is correct.
Can you use it in an example? Oh boy.
Nope, I can't think of an example. I'm sorry. Can you think of an example?
Of what?
Suggestion number 4 of Chad, which is identify yourself in the opposition of seeing yourself in your enemies or your adversaries. Or, I mean, an easy one for me is the Sam Harris type crew, because I was there. You know, so it's very easy these days to, like I've said this before, that yeah, like hell is paved with good intentions, sort of thing.
What was the question again? Hey, look at this guy.
It's all about the Western consciousness. Hater.
I like the part where you like hater.
I could just see water just pouring over the edges of my gutter. I was like, I need to go fix that. So I'm back now.
Nice.
I fixed it.
How did you fix it?
I climbed up on a ladder and emptied out all the crap in my gutter so water could go down.
What do we do? How do we try to live that Christian nonviolence and share that message? And like when Peterson talked about, tell a better story. How do we do that? Where it's not just like one video at a time, man. And
I mean, I think in order for it to be fully personal, which isn't just propositional, it's going to take martyrs. It's going to take people putting their money where their mouth is. People actually loving their enemies unto death. Which I don't know. I mean, largely in the Western world, we haven't been there in a long time. But I mean, I think that's like the fullness of that truth lives, because you can sit here and you can assert it all day until someone's, attacking you or your family or something. I don't know, but that's the thing is like Christians we're so prone to talk about the early church and the blood of the martyrs fostered the early church, and all these people were killing them, and we tell the stories of these saints of who are blessing those who are killing them and forgiving people, and we'll like talk about like somebody breaking into your house and stealing all your stuff, and you go down and you say, oh, you forgot some silverware. But then like when somebody politically is pissing you off, how do we act? You know, it's just like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah. No, that's a perfect point.
Yeah, I'm listening to this book right now called The Demon of Unrest. It's about the time frame between when Abraham Lincoln was elected to the time that the first American Civil War started, or the American Civil War started. And it's crazy to me how fast they got there. And like, these were people who were defending themselves, their beliefs, their rights, what was sacred to them. It's crazy. It's crazy how far we can take things and justify things and completely forget about the past.
Personally, I guess my question is, what's the argument for Christian violence? I'll find it easier to play the martyr, be the hero, and be non-violence when I'm being attacked. But when someone else is being attacked, I feel called and compelled to defend them.
I'm not saying I wouldn't try to stop someone, but I wouldn't try to do violence to the person. I mean, it's really close to like just war theory or minimal harm or something. Like, it's not vengeance. It's not me hating them. It's not me trying to enact wrath upon them. It's just like preventing it. And I mean, what's that saying? Like, for a good man to be silent and allow for evil, like, it's essentially like being part of evil. Like, it's essentially that kind of thing.
Silence is compliance.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah.
We're doing something. And
well, I think there are two things that we're doing that are not being done in modern culture for, let's say, young adults. I'm going to say adults age 14 through 25 is what should be doing these two things, and it's not happening. So number one is honest engagement with difficult and often controversial subjects. That's number one. Can't do that in college anymore. Now, obviously, on the internet, more dangerous to do that than on Discord, but we do have the Discord, and we do have places where people can honestly discuss things to the best of their ability that are not, topics that are regarded as safe, for lack of a better word. But the second thing I think that we're emulating is, and this is more foundational, more elemental, is just respectful dialogue with fellow human beings who think differently in whatever respect. I mean, that's the personalist, that's the dialogos. Now, you might think, no, that's normal. I'm pretty sure it's becoming increasingly not normal to have that dialogue. Like, there's more and more young kids that are just in their devices, and the devices serve as the means by which they communicate with other friends. They don't have face-to-face conversations with friends anymore. It's like through a video game, it's through the text thing, it's through this, and I don't know, like all of that communication that's through the device, this is the best we have without being in person. But it's all a copy. It's all a lower fidelity copy of the real thing, of me sitting with Chad in the same room as Chad, having the conversation right then and there. This is close. This is as close as we can get to that. Yeah.
Jonathan, virtual reality will not be genuine until such time as you are able to fill up my glass.
I see.
Here in Glasgow from down in London there. So
somehow.
I'd like all the clever people to work on that. Meanwhile,
what this little corner of the internet is doing is getting folks who are proactive to engage. What I'm saying is it's interesting because I think it is attracting people who are interested in engaging, not just sitting back and doing nothing.